Ho ho ho, and welcome to day 22, where we're going to talk about the no-show recovery system, meaning what happens and what do you do if leads never show up for the meetings that was booked. If you get to the point that you're scaling a lot of meetings online and you're going to have a lot of Google Meets, Teams, or Zoom meetings for your sales process and your sales reps, you are going to face the issue of no-shows. There are certain things that we've covered earlier in this Christmas calendar that are meant to mitigate the risk of no-shows, but that is an inevitable fate when you scale digital meetings. So what you're going to get at in this video is that you're going to see the full walkthrough of the system that we've built to ensure that you have a follow-up system for those that doesn't show up, so there are no-shows, to recoup and recover most of them, and how it fits into the bigger picture of things. You're also going to get the template for this for Encharge, which is the email system we use to run all of these, so that you can copy paste that into your account after this video. So without further ado, let's dive into it. So on my screen right now, you shall, or you would, or really, you'll see the flow. And there are certain parts to it. So you have the part on the left side, which is really the flow itself. And then you have the part on the right side, which is more if you have pieces of content that is valuable, that are educational pieces of content, it is testimonials and social proof and those types of things. You want to be able to tag people that end up opening those emails or clicking them. So, but we're going to go through from top to bottom. So the very first thing is that, I'm going to close this so that we can see a bit more. So this is the flow for everyone that are being marked as no-show in your booking system. So for me, we are using YouCanBookMe. And if I have a call, for example, here I had a call with Jacob, if I were to mark that as a no-show, they would enter that flow. And the way that they would enter that flow is that I would click this webhook, I would copy this, and I would go into notifications in this, and I would go to the if booking marked as no show, and I would do the plus webhook, and that's what this is. I would paste the URL in here, and then I will paste something like this. So this is a very long one, and some of this isn't. So I'm going to remove the things that aren't necessary for now, so that you can only have the defaults, the things that you really need. So one, you need to have all of the other booking details, like when was it supposed to start, the name of the person from the booking form, the phone, and also closer name. That is very, very important, because how this entire system is built is that you can run this no-show follow-up system with a huge team of sales reps. So if you have, let's say, 2, 3, 5, 10 sales reps, this is built so that you can horizontally scale it depending on how many you have. And that's why closer name in this example is important. So I am going to take this, I'm going to make sure that that is inside of here, so that you can have that and use that for yourself if you end up using YouCanBookMe. So that's the first step. So when someone is then marked as no-show and us having added that in here, that is going to feed the data in here. So you need to run a test with that to get the appropriate data to match the different fields. But once you have that, the way that this works is that we start by giving people a tag, start no-show protocol or process. Then we wait 24 minutes so that it seems like, hey, we're actually writing up and doing this organically, because you're often going to mark someone as no-show within the first 5 to 10 minutes of a meeting, and that's when you want to run this. And then we check. So we check if the sales rep was on my name or someone else's name. And the beauty here is that you can, in here, when you do the matching for a record, you can go ahead and do a custom field. I'm going to show you that now. So I can do plus, new custom field, and I can do this meeting sales rep. It's going to be for the person, it's going to be text. I can hit create, and that will allow me to run this. So check field, I'm going to do meeting sales rep. Okay, let's refresh this, because I created one and it needs to refresh to get it. So meeting sales rep. So I can do that and ensure, okay, does that contain Harold? If it does, amazing. If it doesn't, I'm going to check if it's one of the other sales reps. If it does contain my name, I have an email that I created, which was no show email 1 Harold. And I'm going to edit this email so that you can see it. The way I typically go about it is like, hey, I was waiting around on Zoom. We were supposed to have a call at this time, but it didn't show up. I can understand that it's busy during the day and that things can fall between two chairs. So I thought I'd follow up and find if there's a more appropriate time to speak next week. So again, there's a ping and a follow up of the person. And here I'm usually going to do the name of the meeting. I'm going to do the person's first name and myself, and then that's the first email. So basically, like, hey, we're supposed to have a call. I was sitting waiting around, and what's up? Is it better to talk next week? And if they ever reply to that email, because we have set to track replies to it, they get the tag that they replied to follow up. Once that is delivered, we run a 3-day wait period, and then we check if they've actually replied to that specific email. So we're going to click email activity, and we're going to select that email. And if no reply was received, we check if they've been booked. So what you should do is that you should have a flow where if people get booked, they get the tag booked or something similar. But if they haven't replied to the email and they have not booked, we want to check, have they consumed any sort of content that we've created? So one of the pieces of methodology that we use is that we give away a lot of free value. So we give about stories, we'll give resources, we'll give guides, tutorials, things like this. Like this video in itself is something that is a tutorial that can help you get an idea of how you can build your systems. And we have 4 in this example. So I have a tag for each of them. And as I mentioned in the beginning, that is what we set up here. So really what we do is that we check if they have the tag for any of those pieces of content. So if they have the 2 to 85 content, clicked on that email, clicked on the concepts email, numbers or alternatives email. If they haven't, they get the 1 email. So we just want to send them one, like, hey, here's one thing and one story that I think you might find interesting. If they have clicked the first one, it sends the next one and the next one and the next one. So what you do here is that you build a priority of which one is the most important for you to send. One example here, and what I would recommend, is have some sort of really, really good case studies or client testimonials or results. Lead with that, because then if people didn't show up, they didn't respond to the first email because they thought, no, I'm not sure. And then they got a follow-up message 3 days later, like you just showcasing your 50 different testimonials and reviews. That might again recoup it. That doesn't guarantee that it's going to recoup and recover that no-show, but it might help. You can also do other things, but you need to figure out what order do you want those to be. So you set up an order. You don't need 4. You can only have 1 if you want to. And then if they ever reply to that email, we tag that they've replied. If else, we're going to wait for 3 days and we check if they're booked again and if they have replied in general. If they haven't, we check the sales rep again, and that's when we send the second follow-up email. And again, this is a second follow-up email from me, so basically the sales rep, which is kind of like, hey, we were supposed to have a call a week ago, assumed something unexpected came up, and kept you preoccupied. I haven't heard anything since then, and I just wanted to follow up to see if you were interested in this thing. Do you have time for a chat next week? So again, just like a very quick one, hey, by the way, I'm still open to do a call. Would next week work? So it's not pushy, it's not sending the booking link, it's nothing like that. It's more, hey, I just want a response from you. And we do the same thing again as with the first email. If they reply to that, they get the time that they replied. We wait 3 days. We check if they have replied to that specific email. If they haven't, we check if they've booked. And if they haven't booked, we wait 7 days, and that's when we enroll people into our evergreen retargeting flow of emails and ads. So that's really the setup and the flow. So ultimately what we have here is that we have 2 follow-up emails. So, hey, I was sitting around waiting. I assume something came up. Would next week be a better time? Hey, I haven't heard anything from you. I just wanted to share something of value with you. Hey, yet again, we were supposed to have a meeting a week ago. If you're still interested in this, would next week be a better time? And if no one responds to anything of those, we really don't want to push much. We don't want to, let's say, push them down into something. But we want to enroll them into some sort of evergreen and retargeting where they keep on getting more value, but we're not pushing for the meeting. It's just like, hey, here's tutorials on how to do X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3. And show those on email with emails and also as retargeting ads. So if you want to learn more about that, I've linked 4 other pages in our Christmas calendar that explains these different other parts of the system. So I would recommend you to just take this, copy, open in a new tab, go through that, because that's how you're going to learn how this no-show system fits into the bigger scheme of things in terms of the retargeting, the emails, and the other pieces of content that you need to supplement this, or that happens after this in terms of those that never will come back to you, but they end up booking. So if that is interesting, you can go ahead and click any of these. This turned out to be a fairly short video because it's just a walkthrough of the flow. But this flow, most companies never have this, but simply due to the fact that they end up focusing on the short term. Like, how can I get as much as possible now? And if no one ends up showing, they're disqualified. But you know as well as I do that things happen. And how do you want your brand, your company, yourself to be positioned and perceived? And one of the things that I believe that a lot of companies and founders and sales teams could benefit from is how can you be perceived as more professional? And professionalism doesn't come down to, let's say, being, let's say, rigid and stuff like that. It comes also down to communication. Like if someone were supposed to have a call with you and you don't follow up, why is that? Is it because you're lazy? Or is it because you're too arrogant and say that, okay, you don't value me, so I don't going to value you? If those are the attitudes, you're going to come full short at some point. And that's why one of the reasons why we built this, to make it easier for you to actually have that, hey, you were supposed to have a call, what's up? Because a meeting and a schedule and a plan is a plan. And you want to follow through. So I'm going to leave the link to this flow so that you can copy this down below in the description and on the day or the page of day 22. If you have any questions regarding this, please reach out. But this is just one piece to the puzzle. And we have built a more fully functional system that covers not just how to catch and recover and recoup those that doesn't show for a meeting, but how do you get the meetings in the first place? To get meetings, you need to have leads that has reached a certain point where they like what you do, they're interested in it, they believe in it, so that you have really good meetings. But to get those people or have those people that believe in what you do, that believe in methodology and what you offer, you need to have people in general. You need to have leads. And to get leads, you need attention. So you need attention to generate the leads. You need content to get them to believe in what you do. You need a system to get them to book. And you need a system to get them to show up. And this is just a piece that follows up those that doesn't show up. So if you're interested in learning more about the full one, we would love to give you a walkthrough. Down below on this page, there should be a booking calendar where you should be able to find a time and book that walkthrough with us. And in that walkthrough, what we're going to do is that we're going to go through the full strategy and methodology and architecture of marketing that we've built for the past decade for B2B companies like yourself. Because there are a lot of B2B companies that we speak to who are run by amazing founders, which I assume you are, that are really good at what you guys do. But you've grown because you're so good at what you do and haven't necessarily had and cracked the code with marketing in general. And you're curious to how you can grow further. You want to have a system that works by itself. And that's what we really built. The system that we built is that once it's put in place and it's set up, it just works. It works 24/7. You save time. You don't really need to do that much. And it just does the thing that it's supposed to do. So down below, there is a calendar. You can find a time after you book the call. There's going to be a longer video which walks through that methodology and that infrastructure. You should see that video, because that gives you the meat on the bone and the context to what this system really is, so that you can get an idea of if this is relevant to you. But I need to give a disclaimer as well, and that is, if you book a call, you need to fill out a form. On that post-booking page, or the page after you schedule the call, there is a form. Submit that. If you don't, we're going to cancel, because we need information about your company before we end up having that call. And the reason for that is very, very simple. The architecture and structure of what we've built doesn't fit every type of company. And by understanding where you're at in scale, what type of revenue you have, what type of headcount you have, what you guys do, we can very, very quickly identify if this is applicable to you guys or not. Because if what we've built isn't applicable to your company, there's no reason to waste time. For your sake, for our sake, for everyone's sake. I just want to be upfront with that. Because I don't want to jump on a call with you, waste your time, and give you a shiny object that will just take your time and effort away from the things that matter for you right now. Because it doesn't work for everyone. So watch that video to learn about it, because you are going to learn something. You're going to learn about how the entire marketing system you should have looks like, and fill out that form. And if everything ticks, everything looks good, we're going to have the call, and you're going to go away from that call with suggestions, strategy laid out from us in terms of what you should do, in what order, how it should be done, so that you go away more educated than you showed up. That's what we do in that call. We've had that call with more than 200 people, and they really love it, and they say it's the best 30 to 45 minutes that they ever spent. They got more value from that than buying full courses and stuff like that, because it's so concrete. Because what we've done is that we've fine-tuned this architecture and setup for the past decade. No one is even getting close to the system that we built. So if you're interested in that call, click down below, find a time, and we'll speak. Aside from that, B2B Santa, hope that you learned something and you found the day of 22 valuable. You'll find the template for Encharge down below on this page. And I wish you a Merry Christmas.